Hey guys, Sarge here. I am starting a new series with my friend Eddie, and we are going to start going over some of the things that individuals deal with when it comes to everyday carry or just living in the gun culture and dealing with the gun community and some of the things that come with that. We are going to talk in detail today about a couple things that some of you guys have asked questions about, so we'll definitely be answering some of those. Eddie, do you just want to introduce yourself real quick?
Oh yeah, all right. Hey, my name's Eddie. I actually have two Instagram pages. One is Everyday Carry, it's kind of my gun-related page where I also make holsters, and then my other page is just Eddie's, where I focus on martial arts and fitness over on that side.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So, um, what question do you want to start off with? Because I know you got a couple questions prepared there, so I'll let you start off with it.
Okay, let's start off with the easy one. We'll go with like the essentials in everybody's EDC. Like, what should you have? What's nice to have? What's kind of going with the hype? Like, oh, this is what the EDC guys carry. So I think that'd be a good topic to start off with.
Sure, sure. So I'll go ahead. I'll start with mine. At
Okay.
a bare minimum, what I carry is a tourniquet,
Okay.
and this is whether I'm shorts, t-shirt, blue jeans, and parka. I carry the exact same thing. I don't change it due to the outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So first thing is a tourniquet. The second thing is a Cobra Tech knife with a window break on it,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a double-edged knife, so I don't have to worry about how I end up grabbing it or whatever the situation is. And then a Surefire stiletto. I am putting this kind of through a review process. I normally am not a big fan of rechargeable lights. I like lights that run on batteries, and I don't have to worry
Uh,
about charging them up. But I'm giving this a try. So far, so good. It's worked out pretty well. Then I will carry a second magazine,
okay.
and my current pistol that I am carrying is a 6 Hour Legion P220 and 10 millimeter,
Mm-hmm.
and it is in a Wright Leatherworks. I think it's called their Banshee holster. But
Okay.
I run loops instead of clips because I've seen clips fail. I've never seen a loop fail. So, what do you
Okay.
got?
All right. So I don't really carry a tourniquet, but I do believe in having first aid essentials. So I do have that accessible in my car if I'm in a situation where I do need it. But I do also carry a knife on me. This is the Avant made by CRKT. Really good fan of their knives, and it's pretty, but very useful. I've had this for about a year now. Really enjoy it. Also carry a multi-tool because you never know when you might need something. This is the Gerber Dime. So a little multi-tool, inexpensive. Had this for about 6 years. It's come in handy. I've actually broke it the other day using it, so I actually need to replace it. Um, Also carry a spare magazine. Carrying your G9 ammo that you actually recommended. Actually picked up the Hellcat by Springfield, so I've had this for about a month. So just testing out, kind of giving the micro compacts a new kind of chance because I didn't really like it in the past. But what I normally carry is this is the Remington Recon Commander. It's a commander size double stack 1911 and 9 millimeter with 18 round mags, carrying Liberty Civil Defense for the ammo. Um, that's essentially about it. I'm really simple, and then I kind of wear form-fitting clothes, so I don't really have a lot of real estate in my pocket. So I try to keep the stuff I carry to a minimum.
Gotcha, gotcha, absolutely. And that's something too. It's something I try to tell people because you mentioned keeping certain things in your car with because I know some individuals will put a spare magazine in their car, but they don't have it on them, or
Right.
they'll keep a knife in their car, but they don't have a knife on them.
Mm-hmm.
What I just kind of go with is what you have on you is what you'll have in the fight,
Yep.
and I want to have as much with me without having it look like, hey, I'm a gun guy.
Mm-hmm.
I try to, when wearing non-range clothing or instructor clothing, I try to look like a hipster
Mm-hmm.
or a like I definitely voted for the other group.
Okay.
And that way, when individuals see me, I'm not screaming gun. I'm not wearing, any of this gun stuff that I have. I'm not wearing any of that out in public because when a situation happens, what you'll see is individuals will immediately look at that guy that looks like an operator or looks like a gun guy, and they're waiting for his response. I just want to blend in with the crowd. I'm not trying to stand out. So
So you're not that guy wearing plaid and 511 pants.
no, the only
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
no,
just saying you do stick out.
yeah, nothing wrong with it. Yeah, I'm not that. I have plaid, but that is because I'm from the country. That has nothing to do with being tactical at all.
Hmm.
So I've been wearing plaid since I was 2. So
Okay, that's
yeah,
respectable.
I didn't start doing it because I shoot guns. Yeah.
But then going along with that, there are some people who kind of not hitting on anybody particular in the community, but there are some people who kind of just like more so when you see it on Instagram showing like, oh, this is what I carry EDC, and they have a full table laid out. And I'm like, where do you put all of that? Like,
When
are
you
you that guy that
say
wears that
when you
that
say
EDC
not
backpack?
hitting when you say not hitting on anyone in particular, that's like saying no offense before you offend someone. Like, hey, no offense, but you suck. No, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like the guys that are carrying 17 knives and 6
Hmm.
flashlights, and they have 7 guns.
Hmm.
Um, I have no idea. I don't know how they're doing it, but I mean, if they're wearing those 511 pants with 100,000 pockets, that
Hmm.
is okay. Cool. What I will also, because I forgot to mention this,
Hmm.
I have my Glock 26 being cleaned right now because I shot it, but I will carry a Glock 26 in an ankle holster with a
Okay.
Galco ankle glove. To me, this is the best ankle holster out there. But
Hmm.
going off of what you said, well, how are all those guys carrying stuff? I look at kind of putting it in a sense of priority.
Hmm.
So I'm not going to have 7 knives in the same pocket, right?
Right.
Or I'm not going to have like 3 flashlights and 2 whatever. Like, I'm trying to keep it to where my small brain knows, okay, knife, right pocket, flashlight,
Hmm.
right pocket, spare magazine, left pocket, tourniquet, left
Hmm.
pocket. That's it. I'm not trying
Right.
to confuse myself by having 7 mags in my socks and stuff like that. Um,
Hmm.
so where do they carry it? I have no idea. I have no idea. I will tell you that they haven't carried that while training, because if
Hmm.
they had, it would have fallen out for sure,
Hmm.
and they
Right.
would have went from 7 knives to 1.
Hmm.
So
No, I got you. And then with carrying that, I think placement is also important to talk about. So now, for you, which side do you carry your knife on?
I carry my knife on the right side.
Okay,
So
so your
I
strong
put
side.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
carry it in my pocket on the right side, but the way that I've made sure to have it set up is
Hmm.
I can grab it with either hand. Uh,
Okay.
so even where I carry my P220 Legion, I have it at my 3 o'clock in the leather
Hmm.
holster. But due to it being a full size gun, I have a full size grip. So if I
Right.
need to reach over and grab it with my left hand, I can. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't believe in carrying anything to just one side, so that one side is the only accessible way of
Hmm.
getting to it. So
Okay.
everything I have on me, even my spare magazine, I make sure that I can get my non-sided hand in there to get
Hmm.
that object out of my pocket. But yeah, so my knife is on the right side.
Okay. Kind of a little different mindset, more so just coming from a martial arts background, is more so because we look at strong and weak side, and also just think about situations where if I need access to a knife, but I don't want to necessarily, maybe I'm not able to get to my gun, for instance, maybe I'm pinned down to my right side. If I have my knife on my strong side as well, and that's kind of pinned, I don't really have access to it at that point. Whereas I carry it on my weak side, I look at it, if you imagine breaking your body down the line, you want to be able to defend yourself from any kind of position. So if my weak side is pinned, because that's where I normally carry my knife, I don't have access to knife, transition to gun, and then vice versa if I'm on the other side. And then we start looking at a pinch carry, but that offers different variables. But I'm more so just looking at kind of balanced equal benefits on each side is how I kind of look at it. At least that's how I carry.
Sure.
I'm sure people out there are a little bit different mindset, but that's just personally my opinion, what I do.
Well, I will say, I mean, everybody can carry however they want, differently,
Hmm.
whatnot. I don't have a strong side or a weak side
Okay.
because I'm
Right.
cheating.
All right.
No,
We
no.
we could
I'm
argue
just,
that, but okay. I,
I'm
I
just
see what you're saying. I agree with your mindset there though.
No, 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 no. I absolutely understand that, man. So what else you got? What other questions we working with?
Okay, so still going with the EDC, what do you think?
Okay.
Like, all right, so what have you seen that people kind of go out there, but it's more so just kind of going to carry? Because that's like the thing to do in the 2A community. So not necessarily something that's essential for an EDC, more so, the guys being extra with what they're carrying.
Yeah. I would say the guys that are carrying a pistol with a threaded barrel and nothing threaded to it. I don't
Okay.
understand. That. If someone can explain to me the benefit of you carrying with a threaded barrel and yet you have nothing at your home or on your person to thread it to over a non-threaded barrel, what are you? I mean, I don't understand it. I don't think it adds anything. So there's that for sure.
Okay.
And then I would say another one is, well, we'll go. What's your one?
I'm sure there's a reason for it, but the guys, this is more so pertaining to Glocks and really any gun that kind of has them made, but the super extended mags, like the 33 round Glock mag.
You haven't seen someone carry that.
Like, I understand you can conceal it, but then it's like, why?
Yeah. Yeah. So the way that's crazy. The way that I will do it is I will have the flush fitting mag, or if I'm running a gun that does accept extended mags or anything like that. The flush fitting mag is normally what I'll be carrying, and then that extended mag will be in a pocket. So
right. But
I want my
the big stick. You have the big stick in your back pocket there.
No, not a 33 round. I don't have that. I have a bunch of 15s, but no.
Okay.
Yeah. So, oh man. All right. Okay. So let's do this. What do you think is the best reason to attend training? And the reason why I say that is there's a lot of individuals out there, and I've heard them all. Self-trained is not a thing. And if we look at any other community or any other culture out there, there's not a group of people that do a specific task and they don't want training on it. But when it comes to firearms, we have so many people out there that think that, hey, I don't need training. Or we have individuals who have had no training that are now trying to teach.
Ooh, okay.
So what's your opinion on it? And then I'll give you my opinion, and don't name any names.
Okay, I won't name any names. All right.
Okay.
All right, so I'll go with your first question. Why somebody should seek out training? One, because there's only a limit to what you can do by yourself. Being self-taught, or like he's like, I just did this on my own. Like, realistic, you'll eventually hit a plateau. Because one, people may say like you're your own harshest critic, but that's only if you're giving yourself honest feedback. And then honestly, no one likes being told they suck. Like, I hate being told I suck, so I wouldn't want to tell myself like, hey man, you suck. And then that too, like, if you're not able to identify like what deficiencies you have, how can you build past that? You may think you have a good grip and then get proper sight alignment on your gun when you're shooting, and then you may think you're fine doing this for 5 years, but then you decide like, oh, for the heck of it, I'll go try out this form course, and then you figure out they put you in a situation like, oh man, I can hit a target past 25 yards in a kneeling position on my weak side with my weak hand because I've never done that, or I've never been able to fix that on my own. So just realize there's a certain level that you can get to by yourself, but you need to seek out. I shouldn't seek out additional training. Seek out professional, like someone who's really competent with what they're doing. Not just anybody's like, oh, I've been doing this for 30 years. Yeah, you've been doing it for wrong for 30 years or doing it poorly for 30 years. Doesn't mean you're really effective. Experience does not translate to teaching ability. And that's what a lot of the people who are out there being instructors need to understand. Like, just because you've been doing something such a long time does not mean you can effectively teach it. That's coming from the instructor side. And then I'm sorry, I started remembering. What was the second part of your question?
It's fine.
First one was why you should desire training, and then
I'll cover that first part. So with the there's so much that you can do on your own. But what I would even beg to argue with that is, what if from the very beginning you receive training, so you don't have any bad training scars from doing it on your own?
Right.
Because if you can go to that competent instructor, that competent trainer, and they can kind of pave the way for you to go, and we don't have to make mistakes. We don't have to have a gun with a bunch of gadgets on it that are actually useless in defensive situations. We don't have to have a bunch of crappy holsters that we thought were cool, and then when we went to training, we realized all these holsters suck. I mean, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
and you don't have to have, like, if you look at when I first started,
Hmm.
right, I was Glock, Kydex holsters only. And
Yep.
that was how I started. And then once I started taking training,
Hmm.
I learned that that's not always the case.
Right.
And what worked for me might not always work for you.
Hmm.
Well, fast forward, I'm carrying a P220 Legion, which is a double action, single action pistol in a
Hmm.
leather holster.
Yep.
So obviously, after being trained, I found what has actually worked better for me,
Hmm.
and I've had an evolution in a sense. Also, I look at being a well-rounded gunfighter,
Yep.
however you want to word it. I would hate to have an opportunity where the only gun I know how to run is a Glock, and a 1911 is presented to me in a crap situation, and I don't know
Hmm.
how to take the safety off.
Hmm.
Or you know what I mean? Or a
Right.
AK-47 is presented to me, and I don't know which direction safe is. So that's what I would.
Hmm.
That's kind of how I look at it.
Okay.
So I would maybe start the path off of, okay, hey, I have a firearm, instead of me watching YouTube video, because we have so many people out there making YouTube videos, which
Hmm.
they do have great content. But if you watch a YouTube video, how do I know that you interpreted it correctly?
Hmm.
I don't.
Because you're not there. You're not there to assess the transfer learning that's taking place.
So if I think that if I do, like, I have a YouTube video on how to grip a pistol,
Hmm.
I don't know 100% that you are gripping it the correct way, but you
Right.
think from watching it and you're doing it that oh yeah, this is the correct way, when it might not be. So then when
Hmm.
you go and take a training course 5 years later, it's hard for us to break that crappy
Hmm.
grip, so we can have you shooting as well as your potential will allow.
Right.
So that's my kind of thought process with that. And then the second one is, with the saturated market of instructors.
Hmm.
When I talk about experience for trainers or instructors,
Hmm.
I look at, who have you trained with. I don't care
Hmm.
what military unit you were a part of. I don't care what police unit you were a part of. I don't care. Why? Because I've seen a large majority of those guys not be able to instruct and say really stupid things.
Right.
Like, really stupid things, to the point where I was like, oh, okay, okay. So this is what we're doing. Uh,
Hmm.
but I haven't seen that on the training side, when you trained with reputable instructors,
Hmm.
and when those instructors vouch for you, I, they don't put their name on things that suck.
Right.
In my personal opinion. So
Hmm.
if I'm going to train with someone, or I heard about a new trainer, I am going to email that individual. I'm going to
Hmm.
ask, hey, who have you trained with? I'm then going to Google them, because I Google everybody.
Right.
Um, but and I'm just going to see, who have you trained with, and take it from there. If you're an instructor who claims that you have a bunch of certifications, but
Hmm.
no companies want to work with you, or no instructors know who you are, because you don't feel like you have to go and train with other companies, where did you
Hmm.
get all the certifications?
Right. Hmm.
So
I see what you're saying.
yeah. So that's how I feel about it. What about you?
Um, More so, I feel along the same lines as you, but more so, and this is kind of, just coming from the normal person, like the normal average person out there is
I
kind of
am the
looking
normal
through.
average person. Don't say that.
Well, so we're gonna put it. So you coming from a formal background of being an instructor, and then me just being the average guy on the street coming to seek someone like you out.
I'm an informal instructor.
But like you said, because the market's so saturated, you really don't know what to look for in an instructor. You like, especially like, let's take. I'm not, but if I was a new gun owner and I'm just now getting into shooting, and now I agree with you, like, man, I feel like I need to be able to, I need to seek someone out to give me some knowledge that I don't have. I don't know what to look for. So essentially, this is what people first start looking for when they go to Google. They look at accolades, look at any prior LE, soft military experience, and then can this video, or can I look up this guy on YouTube and see if he can shoot? Like, yeah, you can see a whole bunch of people shoot on YouTube. And then, yeah, they'll be in the military for anywhere from 4 to 20 plus years. And then they'll be like distinguished marksmen, placing competitions, placing like top 3%. So they have all these accomplishments, but you have no real assessment of their teaching ability. All right. Because it doesn't matter, Marine Corps mantra is like, if you can stand on the 500-yard line and put a shot in the black on an able target in the standing position with your weak hand, that's awesome. But can you teach somebody how to do that? Like, that's what you're not able to find through research. So it's kind of hard to do that without either personally knowing who the instructor is or knowing someone who's actually gone through the training. So there is some risk kind of associated with that. And then I kind of say it's a kind of necessary evil in that sense, because that also helps you to gain that kind of experience. Hopefully, if it's like, oh man, this guy's awesome, or oh hey man, this guy's pretty bad, or this gal's pretty bad. I don't want to seek out training from them again. So now I know what to look for and not look and be on the lookout for if I'm seeking somebody else out. But I agree with you 100%. You can't rely on just accomplishments alone. Can't rely on experience alone. So it's more so you got to do some additional research to find out like what kind of person is actually going to be teaching the course. But it's definitely desirable. It's kind of hard to kind of weed through like all the different things that are kind of available out there. So I think that's the real challenge that most people have. And then going back to your first question, I think that's why a lot of people kind of avoid going to training because they don't know who to go to get training, because it's such a saturated market, and then you don't want to get robbed. Right?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say too, you can find out very quickly, for me at least, within minutes of the training course starting, whether this is going to be something I'm going to enjoy or not. Because I mean, I've gone to enough training now where it's kind of like you can hear how the instructor talks or how he refers to certain things, and it's like, okay, this is okay, great.
Right.
Guy that is trying to emulate cool guys on YouTube, and that's it. And that's what he based his whole curriculum on. But real quick, I'm going to do a shout out for some of the channel sponsors that we have. Okay.
Right.
So I do want to give a big shout out to Kick and Steel Custom Arms. They made my custom Glock 45, which is right here over my shoulder. This is actually called the Sarge package. So it is a complete Cerakote job with stippling for $350. So, I mean, you really can't beat that. It's an awesome package. Great company. They'll do it on anything, on Glocks, M&Ps, P320s. And then a shout out to 2A 3D Print. They make outstanding pistol stands. And as you guys can tell, when it comes to sights, I'm a pretty big supporter of one sight company, and that's XS Sights. Whether it's from a fighting mindset or a precision mindset, I just think that XS Sights works the best for everything. Whereas some of those precision competition sights you have, they're great when you have the time to sit there and line up the shot for 20 seconds. Great, awesome. You might not get that in a fight. So I want the best sight that can do everything. And for me, XS Sights makes those time and time again. So I appreciate that. That is it for the sponsor section. The